Shalom. Kol Holo Yahweh Ba'asum Yahusha Ba'asum Rakah Chodash. The ones of the apostles, the ones of the elders at Great Millstone who well and taught us his truth. Much respect to you brothers out there to preach his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. Tabernacle David, hopeful elect, and the speckled bird, the one say Shalom. Now, today for the world, it's Halloween, but for us, it's a new moon. Showing you that in the world, they're in the house of feasting. All right, literally, because they got the kids out there and they're going out there and getting candy. But they're celebrating a wicked holiday. All right. All these holidays are wicked. What we celebrate is high holy days. And today for us, once again, is a new moon for us, which we're in the house of mourning. Right? While the world is in the house of feasting, we're in the house of mourning. I like the quotes that the brothers had posted up. A home does not celebrate Halloween. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Joshua 24:15, Ephesians 5:11. Take no part in unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. You see, that's what we're doing, because you got a lot of so-called Christians that are partaking in these holidays. I saw a quote earlier today. It said, "You can't be alphabet and serve God at the same time." And you had a whole bunch of alphabet people come on that post, try to say otherwise, And you had a couple people on there that stood their ground, like, hey, that post is right, thinking just because we're in a different age means that the Lord changed. No, the scriptures say clearly that the Lord changes not. All right, roughly paraphrasing, the Lord changes not. And just as we had our high holy days, and we're not supposed to celebrate the ways of the heathens back then, it's the same for us now. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 21, ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You cannot partake of the table of the Lord and the table of demons. All right. The Lord said, pick a side. All right. As you read in Revelation 3, you're either hot or cold. All right. The Lord rather for you to be hot or cold. You cold. All right. That's your side. You hot. All right. Keep it burning. But if you lukewarm, you out here playing games with the Lord. Oh, I know I'm an Israelite. Oh, I believe in the Lord. But you partaking and drinking and eating at their tables, you lukewarm. You're not doing the work as you should, right? You lukewarm. Guess what? The Lord's going to spew you out. You're going to be destroyed, all right? So let's get some scriptures that I have set up for this lesson right here. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 19. Wisdom strengthen the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. See, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. See, we know somewhat of the Lord's playbook. We're making our calling and election sure. And eventually the Lord is going to bestow upon us that strength, that spiritual power, and that protection. Right? And with this wisdom, we know how to conduct ourselves. We know how to maneuver through this world. Right? Make smart moves while everybody else out here, they proclaim that they're holy, but they're not. So they're not going to be defended. They're not going to be defended when that time comes. Ecclesiastes 11 and 3, if the clouds be full of rain, they shall empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree fall towards the south or towards the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there shall it be. All right, showing you the works of the Lord, hey, these things are bound to happen. But check this. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, And he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. And what's this mean? Take heed, man. You have to do the work, right? Can't play games, man, right? Put in that work, before the rain falls. Put in that work before the wind blows, right? So reap. All right, Slakia. So sow so you can reap. That's another premise of this message. Do the work. Don't be lukewarm. Don't partake in these people's folly, right? I saw one person say, this is the longest Halloween, because last Saturday, these people didn't, they were living up their best life. Now, today, and best believe probably this Saturday as well, they're going to be living it up. But that's how the Lord set it up. When that sword destruction comes, they ain't going to be ready for it, man. All right? They ain't going to be ready for it. Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 8. It's like it. But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. A lot that cometh is vanity. See, no matter how long that you live, dwell upon this, all right? Especially now in this time. We're in captivity. Jacob's trouble is going to pop off as a day of darkness. But it's also a day of rejoicing for the elect's sake, all right? Because we understand that around the corner is our kingdom, is rest, is full fulfillment, is full joy, right? And it says, cometh is vanity, right? Everything over here is vanity. If it ain't this truth, it's vanity, man, right? It's vanity, vanity, vanity. Verse 9, rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let the heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, in the sight of thy eyes. But know thou, all right? So you doing all that, but check this. But know thou, for all these things, power will bring thee into judgment. That's what we telling you, all right? You want to live your best life? You want to live your life doing your own thing, leaning into your own understanding, all right, being lukewarm, partaking, so-called partaking with the righteous and so-called partaking with the wicked. The Lord is going to bring things into judgment. He's going to look at you. And once again, Revelation 3, all right, He's going to spew you out. Check this for verse 10. Therefore, remove sorrow from thy heart and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. All right? Train up a child in the way that he should go. And you got a lot of parents that want to make excuses. Do it for the children. Do it for the children. Well, what happens when the Lord judges your children? What happens when the Lord judges you? All right? You ain't going to be screaming that then. You're going to be wishing that you took heed. All right, so it also says, put away evil from thy flesh. All right, it's what we telling you to be mindful. All right, you want to live your life how you want to live instead of taking heed unto your heritage. All right, Lord's going to judge you. So take heed. All right, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, classic scriptures, I should say right here. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. But you got to remember, getting ahead of myself, but a day to the Lord is but 1,000 years. All right. So unto us down here, we're like, man, Lord, take it forever. But really, it's like a blink of an eye to the Lord. So therefore, the hearts of the Son of Men is fully set in them to do evil. So the Lord hasn't to where these people are in the Lord's trick bag, where they're like, oh man, y'all been saying we've been in the last days forever. You know, the Lord still hasn't come. This still hasn't happened. You know? So the Lord got them in that trick bag. Once again, people saying this is the longest Halloween ever. Right? They living it up. They're having a good time. Lord got them like that for a reason. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall not. Yet surely I know it shall be well with them that fear power, which fear before him. So, yeah, it seems like, it's taking forever for them to get judged. But just remember, somebody got to play their part. Somebody got to be the elect. Somebody got to be the 2/3. Somebody got to be the wicked. Somebody got to get destroyed. Somebody got to get their crown of life. So just keep on playing your part. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before power. You see that? So it's not going to be well with these people, since they want to do their own thing, living their best life. All right. Brought this out in one of my last scriptures. I love this right here. 2 Chronicles 20 and verse 20. And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, believe in the Lord Yahweh, your power, so shall ye be established. Believe his prophets, so ye shall prosper. Believe in his prophets, so ye shall prosper. And lately, the brother's been doing a lot of lessons on these Israelites, wanting to do their own thing, wanting all Israel to come together. All right. But you're not taking heed unto the prophets. How about you shut up and listen to the men that the Lord has set up? And if you're called to do this work, you're going to get that correction if you listen, and you're going to preach the true doctrine. But if not, you're going to be destroyed. And so as you read on down in the same chapter, we didn't have to lift up the finger. The Lord had it to where Ammon, which is Japanese, Moab, Chinese, and it says Mount Seir, which is Esau, Edom, so-called white men, they end up fighting each other. And they end up killing each other. And what came about that, hey, we pretty much won. That was the works of the Lord. And thus, we had great riches. So I'm using this to say, hey, trust in the Lord. Many marvelous and mighty works are going to be shown in the times to come, where a lot of times you won't even have to lift up a finger. The Lord is going to destroy our enemies for us. Rather he gives us that spiritual power, or they end up fighting amongst themselves, or the chariot comes through and zaps them into dust, right? Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 13, this wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me, all right? This wisdom, all right? There was a little city and few men within it, and there came a great king against it and besieged it and built a great bullocks against it. And now there was found in it a poor wise man. Check this. And he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered that same poor man. You see, by this man's wisdom, he delivered the city. It's also like our people, man. The Lord raises up the prophets, these great men, and they get us through, whatever we had to get through, as you read in the Bible, whatever we had to get through, as you read through the accounts, I should say. And then the people go right back into living like the heathens. And we went into captivity, into captivity, into captivity over and over, man. Right? They keep on forgetting the Lord. Then said wisdom is better than strength. I read that earlier. Right? Wisdom, is greater than 10 mighty men, just roughly paraphrasing. Right? Then I said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. You see, they despise it. Here it is. The Lord did so many mighty works for us, man. And Jake was still hard-headed and rebellious. The words of wise men are heard and quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools, because they want to dance to the tune of the fools. Right? Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinning destroying much good. Right? Wisdom is better than weapons of war. Right? And we just read in the account, 2 Chronicles 20, verse 20. Once again, as you read on down, we didn't have to lift up a finger. We didn't have to lift up a sword. The Lord delivered us from our enemies. And that was the works of the Lord, which is also going to show you, a prelude to World War III, where all the nations come together in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. And he end up, bombing Babylon the Great. Right? Let's get some more. These might be the last ones we'll close out. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of a death than the day of one birth. All right. Why is that? When you pass away, you're in rest. But when you birth, right here in captivity, it's much hell, much sorrow here. Right? And a good name. You see, eventually, matter of fact, it's happening now, but it's really going to ramp up. They're smearing our name. Right? Going to the ancient world and having a good name was great. Right? People, they knew who you were. They dealt with you in business. Your business flourished. But if you had a bad name, people would stay away from you. They wouldn't do business with you. Right? It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Right? As we read, to get the understanding, sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Right? So showing you a distinction. Right? House of mourning is serving the Lord. They're not out here playing around. It's not to say, because the Lord deals with balance, that you can't laugh, that you can't have a good time. But your main objective is serving the Lord, making the Lord proud. Right? Doing what you're supposed to do, making your call and election sure so you can get the heck up out of here. While everybody else, they lollygagging. They're playing games. Right? They partaking by sitting at the table with the house of devils, man. Instead of serving the Lord as they should. Right? So they're fools. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. Right? And this is what we are here to rebuke our people. Right? To rebuke our people. You're either going to hear it or not. Right? And as we know, folly is set in great dignity in this wicked ass kingdom. It is grown ass men, grown ass women out here dressing up, living it up, spending all your money that you should be using to save up. Rather you can pay for your bills, feed your children, clothe your children. Nah, you're using it to buy a costume that you're gonna wear for one day, and in this case, for 2 weeks straight. you know, it's also showing these are truly the last days because they're trying to squeeze out every ounce of happiness here in Babylon the Great, right? Let's see. That's pretty much the point. Could get some more, but that's pretty much the point, just of it. So Yahweh desires to edifying lesson. Want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'asum, Yahushua Ba'asum, Rekah Chodash, the bonds of the apostles, the bonds of the elders, and Green Millstone, Ruel, touch the truth, and the Wa Abba Babal